Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video is the usual one, who should you summon for the upcoming patch and the current patch. So TLDR, to be honest, is actually a safe patch for the upcoming patch one, like because the rate up Esper is going to be Yukini, and Yukini is a past Esper that it's also free to play because you don't have to require the keepsake. It's more about the 7,999 Nexus Crystal pass, so it's totally doable for free to play as well. So if you guys doesn't know about the Yukini thing, you can go watch my previous video. I already posted a few video about Yukini and how to obtain her. So about for the Wishstone part, right? So for the current patch, which when I'm still recording this video, we still have Nathaniel, Valeria, and Liam on the radar banner. So this is the current patch one. Then I'll be covering the upcoming patch later. So current patch here, Nathaniel, should you use your Wishstone to summon him? To be honest, I would say that if you don't have Nathaniel, he is not an R0 must as well. Like, he is not that high mandatory. He's more about having fun in PvP, and the first thing is you have a Wuyu team, because he works perfectly well with Wuyu, and so you need to have at least one Wuyu here. If you have already Wuyu, and if you're already playing Wuyu team, and if you enjoy Wuyu defender team, then getting Nathaniel is a very good choice. Even at R0, he is able to fulfill his nuclear bomb role. He can one-shot and most probably every single Esper in the game, even at R0. You just need to have your good equipment. We don't talk about beat vault, we talk about point war. Maybe some player will say, why am I talking about point war, not about beat bout? Because you have to know that point war and beat bout are sharing the same daily reward now. So climbing at point war and climbing at beat bout is the same thing. Alright, so Nathaniel here, I will encourage you to actually get him R0 if you have Wuyu team, and if you really need to enhance your Wuyu team in point war, then R0 Nathaniel is actually a very solid choice. But keep note, he is also still have his own weakness. It's not going to be like a meta broken thing. He is strong, he is fun to play, but he's not going to be a broken meta thing to change the whole environment, because his weakness is still going to be very obvious. Momo, Taunt, debuff, control, all these things can counter him. Then the next one, Valeria here. To be honest, for me, I would say Valeria is a very strong DPS for Falsetto Fantasy and Shadowfire, but overall I won't spend my Wishstone on her. I will try to get her naturally through the gold record summon. I won't really spend my Wishstone on her. I would rather save my Wishstone for the maybe the future new Wishstone Esper or the other Esper. Valeria definitely is not going to be my high priority choice, but she's a pretty good Esper, but the Esper that I wouldn't spend my Wishstone on. Liam is definitely the Esper I would recommend you to spend your Wishstone on. No matter you're at R0, R2, R4, R6, it is going to boost your account a lot. He's your main DPS in Sonica. He's a lot of contents as a buffer and also a sub DPS. He can be used in Falsetto Fantasy, all three bosses, in PvP content, in Shadowfire as well. There's a lot of content Liam can actually shine because of his kit. His kit is actually very unique because of his buff. The buff he can provide, the Heaven and Vigilant is a unique buff. Crit damage buff he can provide, assist he can provide, the healing he can provide. And for PvP, he's a defender role. He can help you revive your ally as well from the passive here, right? Yeah. And he's easy to build because he have if you upgrade his passive, he have a 50% crit rate already built in, so it's a very easy build Esper. So yeah, I would highly recommend you to get your Liam to R6 if you want to push for Sonica. Even without R6, he also performed very well. Maybe at R2 is the best value as well. R2 here provides extra DPS and also damage ignore. If you pair Liam and Valeria in Shadowfire, it will perform even better because it will increase the damage boost. And also he can also be used in Chronos as well. So this is the current patch banner recommendation. Personally, I highly recommend you to go for Liam. If you already have Liam R6 and if you're thinking about PvP, Nathaniel is a good choice, but you have to have a Wuyu team. Valeria is a good Esper, but I won't recommend spending my Wishstone on her. Then let's take a look at the upcoming patch. Okay, so for the current patch, the upcoming patch here, we're gonna have Farah and Ethan on the rate up. To be fair, I would say Farah and Ethan is actually a safe skip. Farah is good, just that do you think she's gonna be meta because of Yukini? I don't think so. Is Farah gonna excel in PvP content even with Yukini? I don't think so as well. So at least for now, when I'm making this video, I would say that I won't spend any Wishstone on Farah, even though I like her kit, I like that she's a freeze Esper, but I won't spend my Wishstone on Farah. I'll try to get her naturally through Gold Record or Elemental Record, but I won't use my Wishstone on her. Okay, then the next one is going to be Ethan. So Ethan here, it really depends on your tier. Like if you are still at the lower end tier, let's say you're still at low point war and you're trying to win in speed fight, R2 Ethan might help your account. But to be honest, in mid game or end game, R2 Ethan value is slightly lower because we are not really playing speed anymore. We don't have to rush for the who get the first turn, who win thing, which is a thing maybe 1 year ago, right? But so I would say that if you don't have R2 Ethan, you can consider getting R2 Ethan, but I won't say he's that high priority now because most of the case we don't really care do you get the first turn now. Okay, but it's still going to be useful. Let's say in triple threats, if you're trying to get your first turn in PvP content, then he'll be useful. But most cases now, not really that mandatory or not really that important to get. I would actually save my Wishstone for another future Esper. Okay, after these two, then we're gonna have Jing and Sienna. So Jing and Sienna here, Jing I would actually recommend you to get if you have Lu Shang, because she needs Lu Shang as a combination. So we look at the reso here, Jing accentuated buff will also help reset the Esper ability to have the warm welcome. I would say this is actually a very good reso if you are using in Falsetto Fantasy or in Desolate Boss as well, because Jing CD reset here, and also PvP. The CD reset here will come in very handy, especially let's say I pair her with like Ming Shuo, or maybe I pair her with Elif, or I pair her with the other Esper who is more rely on S3. The CD reset here will come in very handy, so I would say Jing is a R0 or R2 Esper. R2 is not mandatory, R0 is more important. The most important is her dividend. Right, so the reso here, I would recommend you R0 to R2. If you are a very endgame PvP player, then R6 is very strong, because at the start of the combat, the Esper instantly get the warm welcome is very important. But for most of the player, I would say that Jing doesn't need the R6 and doesn't need the R2. R0 or R2 is all you need. Really depends on the usage. Then the next one, Sienna here. Sienna here is a very good Esper. The reso really strong, but I won't use my Wishstone on her because like she's strong, but it's not really my type or something I would actually rush for. So the reso here, R2 effect give you extend buff. It's good, but not a mandatory in my opinion. R4 is good, not a mandatory. R6 here, the start extend to 2 turn is good, but not a mandatory. Like everything here is bonus, but not something I would use my Wishstone to chase for, so I would say it's a skip. Then the next one, Yuhime. So Yuhime here, R2, this extra ability cast is good, but not something as a mandatory. R4 not mandatory. R6 is very good, but really depends. Do you really want to invest a Wishstone on Yuhime until R6? If you are like R5 and R4, if you want to push to R6, the effect here is pretty good if you have the extra Wishstone. Or else I'll recommend you to save as well. Then the last one is Genie. So Genie here, to be honest, just keep. She's no longer the one and only multi-hitter to kill Anna. Last time we used Genie to kill Anna, but now we have a lot of Esper that have multi-hit to enough DPS to kill Anna, so we no longer need Genie here. So in my opinion and my own suggestion, I would say that if you have the Wishstone, either you keep for future Wishstone Esper, which is after Yukini, maybe there's gonna be a Esper gonna use Wishstone again, right? Or you're gonna use it on Liam, or you're gonna use it on Yijing. That's my own recommendation. But feel free to comment down what you guys think about it, or what are you going to do? Are you gonna save your Wishstone, or are you gonna use it on a specific Esper? Feel free to let me know. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JNMP, Yakishiba Tales, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Coot Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwatts, Rimu, Choni, Antonio Winterspoon, Marlene Williams, Ium Cragran, Riku Fred X Iris, Calamity, Rocco Stanzions, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.